Hello friends, welcome back on my YouTube channel. Let's meet positivity. Friends, I'm really delighted to announce today's guest. He is internationally certified leap ahead and human potential coach, a certified NLP coach practitioner, a certified EFT practitioner, author of multiple books, including the bestseller book. His the bestseller book's name is Coach Wisdom Volume 2. Apart from all this, he is a TEDx speaker, wow, a design thinker, a very good husband, and a very good father too. An engineer turned life coach. He supports individuals to reinvent themselves, to grow exponentially in their professional life. Again, one more person, friends, who is adding value to people's life. Great. His FB posts and his multiple books already started spreading positivity. So actually, he is the perfect guest for our YouTube channel. I took that opportunity and requested him to join this initiative, and here he is today. So let's have a conversation with Sanket Pai. Hi, Sanket. First of all, thank you so much for being on my YouTube channel and that too helping me to spread positivity. So thanks a lot for joining today.
Thanks, Swanand. Thanks for having me on your show.
Great. And let's start our conversation, Sanket, because I'm just eager to have our conversation with you since long time. And for some or the other way, it is getting extended, right? Postponed, I would say. So to
Most,
start,
it's for my part. I apologize for that.
no worries, Sanket. So basically, to start with, I I know about you that you were engineer and you were in IT field, and that's where we met in one of the IT companies, right?
Right.
So from engineer to IT companies, right, to IT software company programmer, from there to leap ahead and human potential coach, completely different career aspect, I would say. So this entire change, right, it itself is a big leap. So
Mm-hmm.
can you just tell me more about that?
Uh, yes, Swanand, that's a long story. Let me see where I can start. Uh, so I grew up in Mumbai in a community where these social constructs and cultural upbringing, they prevailed big time. So even though my family was quite liberal at that time, these constructs and culture around me was quite dominating. So you won't believe that growing up, I was only aware of 4 different professions that I could choose from. And
Oh,
that was engineer, doctor, teacher, and banker.
oh, wow.
Okay. Only 4 professions that I felt that ever existed on earth. Uh, and when I was in high school, somewhere in 7th or 8th grade, computers was introduced for the very first time in our schools. That's when computers started coming into our curriculum. And just like any kid who sees a shiny toy, I got hooked onto them. I got hooked onto computers. And I decided that I would study computer engineering and create something in the IT software world because genetically my whole family is entrepreneurial. So I always had that feeling that entrepreneurship is in my blood. So I felt that software is where I'm destined to be, and that's where I would make something and create some software. Uh, but fast forward to 20 years later, I was still trying to find my sweet spot in the IT industry. I worked in about 3 different countries and across half a dozen companies in different domains and different roles. And when I quit my IT career, I was actually the head of product and customer experience. Uh, but fast forward to 20 years later, I was still finding that work was still not fulfilling. It still was feeling like a drag to me. And one day I painfully realized that I was walking down this wrong path all along. It did not happen one fine day that I just woke up and I found this realization. But the pain kind of, if you understand, the pain kind of gradually evolved over time as I kept working from one role to another role, one domain to another domain, one company to another company, one country to another country, trying to find something that one thing that gave a sense of meaning and motivation to me, my life, and my work. I don't know if you've heard this, but there's a funny saying that in India, if you take a if you take a stone and you throw it up in the air, it will either fall on a dog or an engineer's head. And
I know.
when I heard that, I literally felt like a dog who was chained to his subjective realities and the nuances of societal success. And that day, I decided to let go of my safe and lucrative career in IT, a career that spanned, I think, around 17 years. Uh, it was a safe and lucrative. I let go to pursue my calling in coaching, even if that meant going back and starting at the back of the line all over again. So here I am, Swanan, doing what I believe I should be doing.
Good, and I hope you are actually getting now satisfaction, which you were looking for, right, since last so many years.
Yes, yes. And what's happening, Swanand, is we, as a human race, we are all kind of swimming in this massive ocean, I would say ocean, of beliefs, of rules, of ideologies, of practices, of modalities that have been established by who? By us, by the world around us, right? And hear me out clearly, Swanand. Because of living in this society of shoulds, we end up living at a mere 40 to 50% of our true potentials. And what's worse is that we think that it is our 100,
Got you.
when in reality, we are capable of much, much more. There's the story that I realized, I just remembered. I'm sure you might have heard it as well. There was this person who was walking on a very narrow path in the afternoon. And as he was walking, suddenly he sees that a horse races past him. The horse gallops past him, and there's a man who's frantically sitting on the horse, trying to balance himself, trying to just hold on to whatever parts of the horse he can to make sure that he doesn't fall. And this man who was standing on the street, he's worried, and he just calls out to this man and says, "Hey, where are you off to, man?" And the person on the horse replies, "I don't know. Ask the horse." Right? So authenticity, abundance, and alignment has eluded us all throughout our past and will continue to do so until we stand up and take back these reins in our own hands. And that
Absolutely.
is something that I'm helping people do, Swanan.
Great. That's a very nice thing. Yeah. I mean, I know that there are a few days back, one of our colleague I met for this YouTube channel itself, and when
Mm-hmm.
I was discussing with her about our old emphasis days and all that. So
Right.
that time, even she was also talking about that. What Sanket is doing now is something different. I'm sure he left IT career, but where is he? So I said, hold on. In next couple of weeks, you will you will get to know on this channel itself. So great. I mean, yes, I agree. Lucrative career and such a handsome salary and all that big packages and all that. When you leave that, it required that courage. Okay, but Sanket, believe me, though I was aware that you left IT career and you were doing something, still, that moment did not come where I was thinking that I should reach out to you and to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing which came in front of me, that the winning you. And when I actually got to know about the winning you, I was like, this is the person to whom I need to meet now. So basically, yes, though I know a bit of the winning you book, but I still wanted to hear from horse's mouth. So Sanket, what exactly the message you really passed from that the winning you? What is the underlying message of this the winning you? It's your first book, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
the winning you, so Anand, the entire title is "The Winning You: Master Your Focus and Avoid Distractions." Was my first book, which was published, I think, back in August 2017.
Mhm.
The underlying message of this book was to help people develop their focus as a skill through a framework that I myself grew up using. Focus is not something that you're necessarily born with. And unfortunately or sadly, the way you would look at it, it's not something that we are taught in school or as we are growing up, right? But it is a skill that needs to be developed. It's a crucial skill, because you would be surprised knowing this statistic. I don't know if you're aware of this, but with today's hyper connected and fast paced lifestyle that we live in, we have an attention span. Can you guess what the attention span of human beings is? It's a mere 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
8 seconds and you're distracted.
Oh,
And that's
interesting.
even less than that of a goldfish. A goldfish has 9 seconds.
My gosh,
So
really interesting.
yeah, and that's scary when you see people getting distracted with their mobile phones, with the amount of multitasking that they do. uh, it just unfathomable that 8 seconds is what we get today to focus, and within 8 seconds we are distracted. What you have to understand, that without focus, Swanan, all of your other skills, your professional skills, your personal skills, all of the educational qualifications that you've got, all the certifications that you've had, all of your skills, all of your work experience is all completely futile if you're not able to apply them with focus. Imagine 8 seconds, right? So today, in today's times, focus is the number one skill that everybody, irrespective of what age you are in, irrespective of what you're doing in life, everybody needs to develop as a skill. And that's what this book is all about. That's what this Winning You is all about. And in 2018, I remember, if I remember correctly, the year, I think April 2018, I also delivered a TEDx video, a TEDx talk on this topic of focus. So if you would post the link, I would share that link with you. If you could post the link in the description below, the viewers who are more interested in the topic and who want to see more and hear more about this whole uh, discipline of focus, they can refer to that video.
Excellent. I will definitely, I will publish it. Not only I will put it on description, but I will flash it on our screen as well. So
Okay,
share that with me. That will be really great.
great. Thank you.
Sanket, yes, good that that was your first book. You're talking about winning you. So after that, what all books you have written? I mean, is it like, and I know everyone who is writing the book coming up with saying that, oh, this is a bestseller or this is not a bestseller, and all that typical,
Right.
comparison is happening. But
Mhm.
I would like to know more about your books. What all books are there?
So after I completed the Winning You, and after it got published and I became an author, the next few books that I wrote were, there was the second book that I wrote, which is labeled Make It Happen. That's stories of 9 people, 9 ordinary people who have done extraordinary things in their life. Okay, it's like an interview style ebook that I've published. It's available on my website and it's available as a free download. Uh, so what that book is, it just goes through 9 different people from different uh, areas of life doing different things. They are ordinary people. They are not known in the media, but in their own world, in their own profession, they are doing extraordinary things. And that helps people who are reading the book get more, what you would say, uh, enthusiasm to kind of think about what their passion is and how they can start, at least take a tiny step in that direction. After that, I actually co-authored a book that went on to become an Amazon bestseller. I co-authored a book alongside 25 other life coaches, and it's called Coach Wisdom Volume 2. And that's also available for purchase on my website. It's again available in a PDF format. Uh, what that book is all about is that each chapter has been contributed by one of the contributing authors, by one of the contributing coaches, and they have poured in their heart and soul and given a message to everybody. It's not just for coaches, it's not just for trainers or mentors, it's for anybody who wants to do extraordinary things in life. And the struggles that you would go through, the challenges that you will face, and how you would overcome those challenges if you can stay with them with patience and resilience. After that, during this COVID time, I published another book. Again, it's available for free on my website, and it's called Reinventing Your Career.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and that's again a coaching style worksheet based ebook that will help people who are looking at reinventing their careers. You need to understand one thing, that we interchangeably use the term job and career so much that we don't realize what a job is and what a career is.
Career is.
So if you're just looking for a job wherein you're just wanting to pay your bills and make sure that the family is running and
Liability is
everything,
taken care of.
yeah,
Right.
the liabilities are taken care of, then this book is not for you, because knowing the person you are, you would automatically and easily get any job anywhere, right? And I'm talking about the viewer as a general. Anybody can get any job at any time to make sure that their liabilities are taken care of. But career is something that's not just done for these hygiene factors, where your liabilities, the money you make, the environment that you work, the kind of work you do, but it's also a sense of motivation of work that kind of pulls you out of bed every morning, right? And then work never feels like a drag to you. So that's where this worksheet style playbook that I published in I think in May 2020 helps the reader to kind of take the reins in their own hands and then reinvent themselves in the career that they want to get into. And it's not just for people who are frustrated with their careers, but it's also for people who are ultra successful but still need to take themselves to the next level. Because as one of my mentors says, that what's got you here will not take you there, right? So everything that we've used so far, all of our tricks from our bags that we've pulled out to reach a place that we have reached, is only going to help you till that point. And if you want to take the next step to the next level of success, you need to reinvent yourself,
Perfect.
right? So that's the most recent book that I've published. And then I'm working with Juggernaut, which is like an uh, uh, like it's like an Amazon Kindle in India. It's got ebooks. It's a Delhi-based production house, and I'm working with them to come up with my next printed book.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's still in the works. So I don't know what the title is going to be, but we're kind of working, and hopefully by the end of this year or early next year, that book will come out.
Wow. We are waiting for it, Sanket. Amazing. So apart from that, Sanket, now you're talking about, you're author, you have published books and all that. But for the persons like me, I used to follow you on Facebook a lot of
Mhm.
time. Whatever the stories you have written, whatever the post you're putting, right? And few, I would say, few weeks back, I have I have actually read that one post which was talking about a very short story of
Excuse me.
tired bird. Okay,
Hmm.
something about trusting yourself, right?
Right.
It was really really nice story, but I would really want my viewers also to uh, you know to know more about that. So can you just throw some light on that story or that concept, I would say?
Yes, definitely, Swaran. So let me just tell you the story in short before I tell you move over to the message part of it. Uh, so this was a short story, excuse me, about a tiny little bird who was tired from whatever it was doing, and it decided to sit on a branch of a tree, perch itself on the branch of a tree, to refuel itself and reclaim its energy. But no sooner that it sat on the branch, a strong wind began to blow in that region. And the wind was so strong that the tree on which this bird was sitting began to shake so vigorously, as if the branch on which the bird was sitting would snap into two.
Oh,
But the bird was not disturbed. It wasn't worried about this. It just continued to sit on the branch, and it swayed along with the wind, and as the branches swayed and as the tree swayed, it just continued to sway. What was a moment of peace and quietude, like just a couple of minutes ago, had suddenly transformed into a situation of uncertainty and chaos around. But the bird seemed to be calm and undisturbed. For it knew two things with certainty. One, that even without a branch, the bird could fly because it had its wings. And the second thing it knew with certainty is, if even if the branch on which the bird was sitting would snap into two pieces, the tree itself had many other branches, and there were few other trees in the area. The bird could always fly and sit on one of those. So that's the story. And what the story actually highlights is, it actually highlights two things. One is having an unshakable inner confidence, and the second thing is having an eye for opportunities. Okay, so inner confidence actually comes from courage. It comes from having a belief in yourself and your abilities, and knowing that you are always enough. There's nothing that you need to do any further. You're always enough. It doesn't have to do anything with developing physical strength, or developing physical muscles, or that physique, or not having fear. Okay, a lot of times people think that confidence comes from not having fear. Fear actually is one of the emotions that is a part of our humanness. It's a natural consequence of our humanness, and no matter what you do, fear is always going to stay there with you. Okay, no matter uh, how much you've accomplished in life, you still have fear. I remember this once, reading it on in one of the newspapers about the famous tabla maestro Ustad Zakir Hussain. And he said that even today, even to this date, every time I climb up the stairs to do a live performance, I actually have butterflies in my stomach. Okay, so fear is always going to be there. What inner confidence means is using your fears as a compass and not as a driver. So what this story tells us is, no matter where you are in your life, you're always enough, and you've got everything that you need inside of you to help you to get to where you want to go. Only if you decide, commit, and act in a certain way. The other message that the story brings out about the little bird, what it brings out is your ability to respond instead of reacting. Okay, a lot of times we just react to situations and everything that happens around us, and what this reaction does is that it causes stress, it causes uncertainty, it causes anxiety, and it puts us in a high alert mode. And when that happens, Swanand, when our body and our systems is in a high alert mode, it automatically closes all the doors on every other opportunity that exists around us. And it's natural. When I say natural, it's kind of biological. That's the way we are built. Whenever we are like fearful, or we get into this high alert mode, our thinking brain, the higher faculties of our brain, suddenly just switches off. Okay, it stops thinking, and what it does, and it contracts our body, and it sends more blood to our arms and our legs, so that we can either fight off the fear, or run away from it. And it narrows our gaze of our eyes, so that we can only focus on that uncertainty. Okay, it's like the horse wearing those two pads at the side, that you can only see what the danger that's in front of you. And because of that, all of your other opportunities, which would be like 15 degrees to your left or 15 degrees to your right, you are not able to spot them. So having an eye for opportunities comes from practicing calm and self-control, not just when things are going right for you, but even during adverse situations. And when you're able to practice calm, and you're able to make your body relax your mind and body, automatically your gaze, you get relaxed, right? Your body gets relaxed, your thinking faculties start functioning once again, and your gaze expands, your peripheral vision comes in, and that's when you're able to spot opportunities that previously you couldn't see. So so th- that so this is this is the underlying message of that short story that I was trying to convey.
Wow. Awesome. And you just mentioned about, even in adversity or in an adverse situation, someone needs to be calm and, centered, right? That definitely helps. So my next question, or I would say even the kind of a last question to you, Sanket, when it comes to that everywhere it is like negative situation is outside, everyone
Mhm.
is thinking negatively. There is a pandemic, it's such a huge level, it's all came up, the COVID-19
Mhm.
situation solving,
Right,
right?
right.
So that's where our objective of this YouTube channel, to spread the positivity, to help the people to be calm and centered. So from your perspective as a human potential coach, from your perspective, Sanket, how, what do you think, how can one can be a calm or centered even in such pandemic, even in a panic situation? So
Mhm.
if you can guide on that, that will be great.
Yes, I get this question a lot of times and even my clients who approach me for certain objectives and certain outcomes have this situation where they can't be calm, especially through this Corona COVID-19 episode that's going on. Uh, Let me try to answer that question slightly differently, Swanan. So I love paradoxes. Okay, so one paradox that I can think of right now is the only thing that's certain about our life is uncertainty. So, in other words, our life is certainly uncertain.
Right.
The only thing that's certain about life is death. Everything, every experience, every moment of life that we live and experience and grow is uncertain. And we need to accept and embrace this wholeheartedly. Instead of resisting the isness of life that creates disconnection and dysfunction and discord, we really need to accept our life, all of it, with all its ups and downs, the way it is. Okay. So it's okay for you to feel scared at some point of time. It's okay for you to feel worried. But what we mistakenly do is we assume our feelings as if we are the feelings. Okay. We take on our feelings personally as if we are those feelings. Let me ask you this question. If I ask you this question, how are you feeling right now, Swanan? You would typically, how would you answer this question if I ask you, how are you feeling right now?
Cool, great, because
Right.
I'm talking with you.
Right. So if I ask this question to say 99 out of 100 people, how are they feeling? 99 out of 100 people will respond the same way. They'll say, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling great. So this I'm feeling great, I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling good has somehow become the social catch-all phrase for all of our underlying feelings and emotions, right? We may be feeling nervous, we may be feeling a little anxious, but we don't choose to accept that. We just, if somebody asks you, well, how are you doing, even though you might have just lost your job the other day, someone asks you how you're doing, you'll say I'm okay or I'm good, because you want to hide those feelings and emotions, right? And for no fault of ours, because growing up, we were never taught how to really feel our feelings and emotions and how to express and talk about them, right? uh, so what happens is we either do two things, one of the two things. You either indulge completely in the feelings and assume that the feelings are what we are, or we kind of resist or suppress our feelings. But either of that is not going to help us, right? Because what happens is both sides, we start labeling and judging those feelings and emotions, and we invariably end up labeling and judging ourselves, right? And in doing so, what we do is we strip these feelings of their ability to teach us. So see, there's this culture that we've all grown up where men are supposed to be stronger, right? Men can't cry in public, men can't be scared. So growing up, we feel that as a man of the house, as men of the society, we are not supposed to express our emotions. So whatever the emotions are that we are feeling, we either just suppress them or we kind of just sit on them. And what happens is these emotions then get kind of latched on internally inside our bodies onto our cells, where they grow out of proportion, invariably causing us other medical challenges. So one way, Swanan, to feel centered and feel calm is to always remember that you are not your feelings. You have feelings. You are not your feelings. And every feeling that you are having in the moment is perfectly okay for you to have. It's perfectly valid for you to experience. Feelings and emotions, like I said before, is a natural consequence of us being human. And we can't selectively numb out certain emotions and only say that I want to feel the good ones. It's not possible. You either get them all or you still get them all. You choose how to deal with them. Okay, so start seeing yourself separate from the feelings. It's simple. To help you understand this, when somebody is anxious or somebody is stressed, you would say I am stressed or I am anxious. When you say that, you associate that anxiety or that stress as you should start using words like I am feeling anxious, or I am feeling stressed, or I'm feeling nervous, or a part of me is feeling overwhelmed right now. When you start using such languages to express your emotions, you immediately start seeing the feelings separate from yourself. They are a part of you, but they are not the whole you. So quite understandably, Swanan, this current corona COVID-19 situation that we are all into has created fear, has created chaos, has created uncertainty all around us. I mean, most of 2020 has gone down in lockdown, right? And quite naturally, there will be feelings of helplessness, insecurity, stress, fear, frustration, and even depression from time to time. There is one exercise that I want to kind of teach the audience right now that will help them stay calm and stay kind of centered. And I want you to play along with me in this exercise. So, are you willing to?
Sure, why not?
Okay, great. So, this exercise that I want to teach you and other people is what I call sitting on a railway platform.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. So, what I want you to do, Swanand, is I just want you to take a deep breath in, take a deep breath through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. And do that one more time. Take a deep breath in. And now just take a moment. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes as well. If you're not, you can keep them open. But just take a moment to just scan your body and 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 notice what bodily sensations you're feeling right now, or what feelings are you experiencing in this moment. And as you start noticing those sensations and feelings, what I want you to imagine is I want you to imagine sitting on a railway platform, sitting on a bench on a railway platform, and you're seeing a train that is approaching your platform.
Mhm.
Okay, and as the train approaches your platform, and as it slowly passes the platform, every feeling that you're feeling in the moment, I want you to imagine that every compartment of that train is actually that feeling. So if you're feeling nervous in the moment, then the first compartment of that train is nervousness. Your job is to just watch this compartment while you're sitting on the bench. Okay, you don't have to get up and get onto that compartment and ride along with the train. So just as the train gradually passes the railway platform that you're sitting on, imagine that every compartment of the train is a feeling that you're feeling in the moment. So you're feeling bad, you could be feeling worse, you could be feeling miserable, you could be feeling angry, whatever, because emotions and feelings, when they come, they don't come individually, usually come in clusters. So imagine each compartment of that train to be a feeling that you are fully observing while sitting on this railway platform, and you're not getting onto that compartment, you're not associating yourself with that feeling, and you're not associating your identity with it. You don't have to get onto the train. And slowly what you would see is as the train leaves the platform, what's left behind? What's left behind is a sense of calm and peace. Let me know if you're noticing that as well.
Yes, yes,
And
Sanket.
that's what our true essence is after all. What's at our what's at the core of our soul is calm and peace. And we often mask it with all of these feelings because we associate them with those feelings as us. So just by doing this simple exercise, you were able to disassociate the feeling at the same time,
Exactly, that was my experience. Correct.
and at the same time observe it and give it the full attention that it deserves. Because emotions and feelings are just like children in the classroom. I mean, if you notice, if a child in the classroom raises his or her hand and you don't pay attention to him or her as a teacher, they are going to do anything and everything to grab your attention, right? And that's exactly what emotions and feelings do. So what you've done in through this simple exercise is two things. First, you've given all your feelings 100% attention because you were sitting there and you were observing your feelings as they went, as they came and they went. And the second thing you did was you did not associate yourself with the feelings. They were there
Precisely.
in the train on, as a train compartment, and you were sitting here. You didn't get on to the train because usually we get on to the train and then we go in for the ride, right? So so I want you to practice this exercise because this is a very simple exercise that you and all of our viewers can do any point of the day whenever they are feeling this deluge of emotions hitting them. Just remember this railway platform and just imagine that you're sitting on the railway platform and there's a train approaching and it's passing by. So optimism and humor are like the glue and grease of our lives, one. So we need to include more of these positive feelings, more of optimism, more of laughter, more of humor into our lives, especially during these adverse situations, and less of the negativity that's currently coming to us from all directions. It's coming to us from the media, it's coming to us from our social friends, it's coming from various WhatsApp forwards, and it's coming from governments from the world over, right? We need to consciously detach ourselves from these negativity because we know corona is here, it's real. COVID-19 is here and it's going to change the way we move and we continue to live going forward. So there's no point resisting what's happening or what has happened. Accept corona as a part of life, and whenever you feel a little bit of uncertainty, you feel stressful, you feel chaos, just remember the railway platform and remember the train.
Precisely, Sanket. Excellent. I'm really enjoying this. It's though it has been already crossed our time, but still I feel like wow. I will see to it that I'll have one more session with you. For sure, it was really nice, Sanket. And on top of it, now I could relate when Narayan Murthy few months back he said that we have to accept this corona. It's a part of our life, and then let's move
Absolutely.
ahead rather than just thinking
Absolutely.
about that. So
Absolutely.
that was just a statement, but now I could actually realize it what exactly a thought behind it when he says, because at the first time when it came up, everyone was talking about why Narayan Murthy is making such statement.
Hmm.
But yes, today at least I am now clear that yes, there was a very good thought behind that, and
Absolutely.
that's the fact, and that's the way you should live forward, and that's where the positivity will come to the picture.
Absolutely. The more
Awesome,
you
Sanket.
the more you accept everything in your life, the easier life gets for you. The more you resist, persists with you. So whatever you resist will come back and stick with you.
Rather than that, best better accept. Actually, Sanket, because whenever now I'm taking interviews, conducting interviews for this YouTube channel, right? Every person who's really kind of really progressing even in such situation, maybe personal life, or maybe in professional life, maybe for their business, for their skill set they are improving, or whatever they are doing it, right?
Hmm.
But this is the common thing came up so far, that everyone has, whoever has been interviewed so far, or maybe next few months, all of them are actually accepted the fact that there is a negativity outside, but then
Right.
they just keep it some aside, saying that okay,
Hmm.
this is okay, we need to do this, it's okay. But then how we can do it better to just move ahead, whatever we are doing or whatever we were doing earlier, or whatever
Hmm.
things which has been left, let's try to utilize this time in such manner, rather than thinking about how many cases are there, how many cases for today, how many cases for 1 month, for 2 months.
Absolutely,
Hold on,
absolutely,
and for
absolutely.
our state, for another state, for country, and for hold. Don't get into all that. It's okay to have information, just keep it aside, and you just concentrate on something good rather than thinking about
And
that.
what's more important is to get the information from credible sources,
Yes, that's also very
because
important.
it's the job of media to spread fear, because that's what will make people hook on to the media more, right? It's their job. When it comes to pandemics like this or any uncertainty, always look for the source of the information, whether it's coming from the Ministry of Health of the country, whether it's coming from World Health Organization, or it's coming from certain doctors or frontline people who are there on the front line, who are putting everything on the line to save people's life. And just take the information and accept it. If you can do something about it, do it. If you can't do anything about it, just accept it, either ways, and move forward.
And you mentioned it right, Sanket. When you resist, that will persist,
That will
with
persist.
you, and that will have a bigger impact. And rather, why you, if you don't want this, and don't resist it. Just accept it and just move on. Excellent message, Sanket, and I'm really honored that you are part of this now. You helped me. I'm sure about it that you helped me to spread positivity. I'll be flashing out your details even on the screen as well as in the description. I'll put it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
whoever really wants to reach out to you to know more about it, to get some more help in their personal or professional aspect, they will reach out to you. So again, a big thank you, Sanket, for being on my YouTube channel.
Thank you, Swanand, for trusting me with your time and having me on your show. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Great, great. Now, I know it's Thursday, and I'm sure you have plans for weekend. So enjoy your weekend. enjoy enjoy the week. I'm sure it's like it's very it's very small. I would say it's a stupid thing to to wish a good morning, or to wish have a nice day, or to wish have a nice weekend or something to a human coach. Okay, because he himself is living that way, right? But
No, that's the the wrong notion that people have. People think that a coach is somebody who is living an extraordinary life himself, but we have our own set of challenges. We have our own set of obstacles that we face on a daily basis, and that's what makes us human, and that's why we are able to relate to the challenges of our clients, and that's how we are able to help them see past that, because I am a student of human behavior and how the mind works and how the emotions work. It helps me understand what's below the surface, not just for me but also for my clients.
correct, correct, correct. Cool. So, wishing you a very happy weekend. Enjoy,
Thank
enjoy
you,
your
thank
day.
you, thank
Bye
you.
and take care. Stay
Wish you the
safe.
same. Thanks. Bye bye. Take care.